Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube, TikTok, and the various groups from around the world subsequently. We welcome Lord Ram and all the devis and devatas that he instructed to play the various parts in the Ramayan. Lord Ram is the first incarnation of Lord Sriman Narayan in a full and total human form. And his incarnation is to teach you how to live as an ideal man, an ideal woman, an ideal family, an ideal community, society, country, continent, and the world. That was the purpose of the incarnation of Lord Ram. Ram, translated from Sanskrit to English, means the source of all pleasure. That is what Ram means, translated from Sanskrit to English. Not some charou's name. Not some charou's name somewhere. When you hear Ram, then it is some Indian name. No. Ram is not an Indian name. Ram is a Sanskrit name in English meaning the source of all pleasure. And last year, I showed you that the name Ram is found in the Zen Avesta. It is found in the books of Buddha. It is found in the Torah. It is found in the Bible. It is found in the Quran. This year's Ram Navami and Ramadan is just a few days apart, and the main fasting of Muslims has the name of Ram in it. So Ram is found in every scripture that exists in the world today. This system that I am expounding to you is called Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma is the owner of the Vedas and not Hindus. And not Hindus. Hindus is simply a colloquial name. The name Hindu or the word Hindu does not exist in any of the Vedas. The word Hindu does not exist in any of the Vedas. Hindu is a geographical reference pronounced with an H by Muslims who lived across the river Sindhu. So instead of calling the people across the river Sindhus, they pronounce them as Hindus. So we need to clarify that you cannot identify yourself with the location geographically. You are here in South Africa. You understand? So it's time, and I started this 10 years ago. When I started preaching, I started clearing up all the confusions that exist in Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan means eternal, Dharma means way of life or righteous principles or eternal duty. D-U-T-Y. Eternal duty. And your eternal duty, eternal means no beginning, no end. Your eternal duty is to have faith in the Supreme Lord. What is your eternal duty? What is your eternal duty? To have faith in the Supreme Lord only. Faith in the Supreme Lord only. I'm saying it again. Faith in the Supreme Lord only. You noticed those that had faith in the wives only, what happened? Those that had faith in the husbands only, what happened? Those that had faith in the children only, what happened? And those that had faith in the parents only, what happened? How many what happens we have? And those who had faith in the Supreme Lord, what happened? So remove and repose the faith from all these entities and repose it on the Supreme Lord. You're not very happy on this Sunday, Pramila. Remove the faith from your son and sons and children and put it on Lord Narayan. Then Lord Narayan will take your faith and fix all that problem that exists everywhere. Is it sensical? Is it common sense? Because when you take your faith and you put it on a human being, how many percent of your faith will be reciprocated? How many percent of your faith will be reciprocated? Vimal, your day today. Vimal Bhai, you must be strong, you're a Singh. And you must be even stronger because your Guru is a Singh as well. And you must be even stronger, Vimal Bhai, because the entire San community, the Shlati Kulus, is following this Guru. So don't fear your wife. How many percent faith you put in your wife and how many percent did she reciprocate? I want an honest Lord Sriman Narayan answer. I put him in between a rock and many rocks and many rocks. He's near the door, Bhabhi. We all might not see him again, not only you. Are you understanding me? all of you. This is the system that I am teaching you. It is a very, very simple system. Take all the faith you possess. Take all the faith you possess and place it at the feet of the Supreme Lord. That is called Sanatan Dharma. Take in all your faith, and this is an eternal relationship. This is an eternal relationship. It means in every lifetime you must repose your faith on the Supreme Lord. And let's break it down. Let's break it down. The Supreme Lord is absolute. The Supreme Lord is absolute. What does absolute mean? It means that the principles contained within Him cannot be faulted, cannot be changed, cannot be compromised, cannot be changed, cannot be faulted, cannot be compromised. It means when you invest yourself, your faith means your very being. Your very being. When you invest yourself in something that is absolute, then what will the return be? The return will also be absolute, because the return cannot be compromised. The return cannot be tampered with. Absolute investment means absolute return. That is how simple it is. That is how simple this entire exercise is. But because we are in Kali Yuga, only 25% of the entire population of this world. What's the population of the world today? 1.8 billion people? Yes? How many billion? 7.8 billion, sorry. 7.8 billion. So 25% of that would be how many billion? But 1 point something 2? Only 2 billion people will have faith in this world today, because the season is Kali Yuga. The season is Kali Yuga, and 75% of the negative energy is going to stand between you and your faith. 75% of the negative energy is going to stand between you and your faith. All of you understand? So Lord Ram, just before I explain Lord Ram's appearance, let me conclude unpacking Sanatan Dharma. So when you leave here today, remove the title of your religion called Hindu, because it's a false narrative. It is a false narrative. It's simply a geographical location that the Muslims pointed to people living across a river. When you say, I am a devout Hindu, when you say, I am a devout Hindu, have you heard people calling themselves devout Hindus? What's another word for devout? Another word, I just can't get that word, but I've heard people along the line. You are identifying yourself with a concept that does not exist anywhere. You are identifying yourself. When you say, sorry mommy, I know for all these years you thought you was a Hindu. There is no such thing as a Hindu. In religion. Your religion is Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma is found in the Vedas. Sanatan Dharma is found in the Vedas. You must identify yourselves as Sanatan Dharmis and see how your soul gets actuated. Your souls were not actuated as long as you called yourself a Hindu, because you need spiritual potency to actuate your soul. And spiritual potency that has the mantra to actuate your soul is Sanatan Dharma. Do you understand? So as of today, when you leave, don't say, I am a Hindu. I am a Sanatan Dharmi. Sanatan Dharmis have no fixed religion. Sanatan Dharmis have no fixed religion, because religion has boundaries. All religion has boundaries. Sanatan Dharma has no boundaries. So you cannot be in a religion as well as Sanatan Dharma. But Sanatan Dharma can exist in every religion. Are you understanding? So these teachings can be found in Christianity, it can be found in Judaism, it can be found in Islam, it can be found in Buddhism, it can be found in Zoroastrianism, because Sanatan Dharma is a universal way of life for all living entities. Sanatan Dharma do not even discriminate between plant, animal, marine, bird, tree. Sanatan Dharma do not even discriminate between all the living entities in the various species. It is just by virtue of your karma, today you're a human being and tomorrow you can be a snake. Next life you can be a pig if you eat anything. If you go everywhere and eat anything, then the next life you'll be a pig. You think I'm joking? Think Guru is joking? So you can evolve from a human to a Devi and Devta with no portfolio. You understand? All the portfolios are gone. At creation, all the portfolios of Devis and Devtas are gone. You can be a Devi or Devta without portfolio. All the Devis and Devtas are already cosmic administrators. You can't become Vayu now. Vayu is already, the post is already taken. Indra's post is already taken. Lord Shiva's post is already taken. All these names are not names of living entities. They are names of posts. Name of post. Lord Brahma, we call him Lord Brahma. The current Brahma is occupying a post. The name of the post is Brahma. Like the name Correctional Services. The name Correctional Services is a post. Is a post that is occupied by bona fide ministers. Similarly, Indra is a post. Shiva is a post. Vayu is a post. These posts are occupied by Devis and Devtas. And when devis and devatas occupied these posts for the purposes of administrating this cosmos, when you as a human being live with qualities of ethics and morality as expounded in the Bhagavad Gita, and you do not get liberated, you can occupy the post of a Devi or Devatas. You have the same potency but without a portfolio. All of you understand? That's your evolution. When you evolve, your devolution will be you go back to animal state. You go back to animal state. And there are 3 animals you can go backward to. Mami, you want to know which 3 animals you can go backward to? If you had a whole lot of Satguna trait, but less than 51%, then you can become a cow. I can put you in a back there in the Gomata. Mama can come and feed you in his next life from this side. All right? How you know how many cows you're feeding, whether they were your wives in your last lifetime that decided to go down. If you go down in Rajogun, all the meat eaters, where's Satish Bhai? And the prince. All the meat eaters, if you devolve and you loved meat, you will become a lion. If you love meat and your balance sheet at the end of this life is sending you downwards, you'll become a lion or lioness, depends what you are, male or female. All right? I know Satish Bhai can be a lion. And if you are in Tamogun, the mode of ignorance, and you devolve, then you will become a monkey. You'll become a monkey. If you're a female, female monkey. If you're a male, male monkey. So when you're busy shooting those monkeys that's coming to eat around you, just think who was your wife, who was your husband, who were your children. Remember, Sanatana Dharma is such a perfect management system that the cluster of your family will always be together. And there is an example where a king was hitting his donkey for continuously every time the donkey was eating the hay. And the king was actually hitting his own father. His own father from another life. So around you, those animals and plants that follow you, take care. Take care. They could be your grandmother, great-great-grandmother, grandfather, great-great-grandfather. When you are about to kill that cockroach, when you are about to spray that mosquito, think what the Guru is saying. All of you understand? Sanatana Dharma is an absolute science. Sanatana Dharma is an absolute science. Lord Sriman Narayan is the absolute scientist. So I just want to unpack a bit further. Anything that's absolute must be absolute from beginning to end. Yes? If anything that's absolute, then absoluteness must traverse from top to bottom in an absolute state. In an absolute state. So where does the absoluteness in Sanatana Dharma begin? Where does the absoluteness in Sanatana Dharma begin? When you start looking for Sanatana Dharma, practically any one of you now, after the Guru's speech today, you want to look for Sanatana Dharma. Where will it begin? Where you can start finding Sanatana Dharma? You look for evidence. You want to find scripture because evidence come in scripture. Yes or no? Evidence you will find in scripture. That scripture must also be absolute. That scripture that you're going to look for must also be absolute. How do you confirm the absoluteness of scripture in Sanatana Dharma? So I don't want to have a competition with religion. I don't want to have a competition with religion. That is why I'm saying Lord Sriman Narayan is the absolute scientist. Lord Sriman Narayan is the absolute scientist. I'm saying that because every religion starting from Zoroastrianism and ending in Islam, every religion came through a prophet. Every religion came through a prophet. So I don't want to put Sanatana Dharma as a religion and say that God only appeared in Sanatana Dharma. Then I'll be biased. Yes or no? But if I say God is the absolute scientist, then the absolute scientist don't have to appear in any religion. Does he? You understand? So the absolute scientist must provide you with absolute evidence. Yes? In science we're looking for evidence. The scientist must provide the evidence to you because it is absolute. You understand? So the absolute scientist is the Supreme Lord, and the scriptures in Sanatana Dharma is spoken by whom? The Supreme Lord. So the scriptures of Sanatana Dharma is absolute because it is spoken by the absolute personality. Then the absolute spoken scriptures or oral scriptures is collated by the absolute personality who incarnates as Veda Vyasa. I want you to follow me very, very carefully. This is important. And this is why nobody is following that colloquial term Hinduism, because there is no rational thought that is unpacking Hinduism. Yet, Sanatana Dharma is the origin of your existence. You understand? Sanatana Dharma is the origin of your existence. So we saying that the Supreme Lord is the absolute scientist. He provides the absolute scientific evidence called the Vedas orally, and then that same personality takes his birth as Veda Vyas and collates his own absolute evidence that he exhibited orally. Are you following? So the Supreme Lord, the absolute scientist, speaks the Vedas, then he incarnates and he writes the Vedas that he spoke. Is it still absolute? Still absolute? Then he incarnates, and this incarnation is the incarnation of Lord Ram, where he is teaching you how to live as an ideal individual, as an ideal family, as an ideal society, and as an ideal world. Absolute scientist, absolute evidence, then he incarnates in his absoluteness and he teaches you the absolute way of life. Are you understanding? And this is why we cannot call it a religion. Then we will be biased. Because in no religion does God incarnate and live in any scripture. Yes or no? All the scriptures of all religions are by prophets. So Lord Ram incarnated 2 million years ago last. How long ago? 2 million years ago. Let's look at the author of the Ramayan. The author of the Ramayan was Valmiki. He stated that Lord Ram was born in Ayodhya. Does Ayodhya exist today? So can you prove the birthplace of Lord Ram? You can. Then he said Ravana was a king in Sri Lanka. Ravana was a king in Sri Lanka. Does Sri Lanka exist? Then he said that in Sri Lanka there was an elephant, or there were a herd of elephant with 4 tusks. How many tusks? Does elephant with 4 tusks exist today? No. Then is it a truth or is it a myth? Sita, you said myth.
I didn't say anything.
Okay. I heard your soul speaking. Guru can hear everything, Sita. Whether your mouth speak, your mind speak, or your soul speak, Guru can hear all. You can ask Vishwadhar. He speaks in Joburg. I hear him here. So scientists acknowledged that elephants with 4 tusks only existed between 1.6 and 2 million years ago. Between 1.6 and 2 million years ago, which scientifically explains my 10 years of preaching. Every Ram Navami I stated that Lord Ram came down 2 million years ago. And what is the proof? The 4 tusks of elephants. Scientific proof showing that Lord Ram was here 2 million years ago. Then Lord Ram's life. Where's Satish? All the male older than 3 years devotees in this satsang that does not want to take initiation, I want their wives to know that they don't want to follow the Lord Ram principle of one man, one wife. Otherwise, they'll run and take initiation. Mama, Mommy is right here. If any man that's in the satsang for 3 years and don't want to take initiation, they still want to be in Sanatan Dharma, no problem. But they want to follow Lord Sri Krishna with the 16,108 wives. And that is the only reason why Satish Bhai and Mama don't want to take initiation, because they don't want to follow Lord Ram's principles of one wife. Jessica, you and Mommy, you all have mandate to have a tsunami in your house. Guru won't interfere. If I see Mama and Satish Bhai coming in bandages tomorrow to satsang, I won't bless them with my holy water. That is their karma for not listening to the Guru. So meat is only an excuse, Jessica and Mommy. They don't want to take initiation because they're not secure. They are not secure. Guru always have ways and means of fixing things. You can ask the prince. When I told the prince to write the biography of the Guru, the prince said, Guru, my mother told me you won't have enough ink and enough pens to write the biography of the Guru. So, Mama, you still love the Guru? Yeah, Mama telling his entire family, I love the Guru. Ravi, what Mama told you? Ask him after this discourse whether he still loves the Guru. Okay, are there any questions up unto this point? Up until this point, are there any questions? So, we're saying that the Supreme Lord is the absolute scientist, the scriptures are absolute, the Supreme Lord collates His spoken instructions, then the Supreme Lord Himself enacts the instructions. What enacts the instructions means? He comes to earth, and whatever He has instructed you to do, He does it Himself. And what does the Lord Ram do most in the Ramayan? He follows every instruction of his Guru. What Lord Ram do most in the Ramayan, Mama and Satish Bhai, wherever you are? Mama, what does Lord Ram do most of the time in the Ramayan? Follow the Guru's instruction. And when the Guru say on the 5th of May, Mama, you take initiation, then see how many people you're not following. How many people you're not following? Yes, now Mama is waking up. 2, you're not following the Guru, you're not following Lord Ram, and you're not following the scriptures he wrote. Can you see how many times you are transgressing? And then we got that sheet there, Mama. What's that sheet called? Balance sheet? Spreadsheet? Karmic spreadsheet. So, how many ticks you'll get there? How many crosses you'll get there, Mama? No, you'll get 3. Guru, God, and scripture. Mama's life is becoming very, very difficult now. I told you, Mama, as you get older in this satsang, the kitchen becomes hotter. All right? Are you understanding? I'm using Mama as an example, but are you understanding? We're talking about absoluteness. We're talking about absoluteness. Absoluteness is scientific. For every action, there has to be a reaction. That is absoluteness. And this is why the Supreme Lord has incarnated 10 times. How many times? 10 times in full incarnation to ensure that no human being can point a finger and say, Lord, I did not understand your scriptures. Premila, no human being can say, I did not understand your scriptures. Why? The Supreme Lord came and enacted His scriptures. He came down and His scriptures, Mama, and He showed you how to follow a guru if you want to get liberated. He came down Himself. All of you understand? So let's take this a bit further, because this is, in this Ram Nomi, I'm talking about your conscious, your guilty conscious, not your soul conscious, your guilty conscious. I saw Vimal, Bhabhi asked, what time is satsang today on WhatsApp? And I said, the guilt triggered. All right? So I'm planting the guilty seed in every soul. Guilty seed in every soul. But if I make this accusation, Mami, I must give you absolute evidence. Yes or no? If I'm saying I'm planting the guilt seed in every soul, I must give you evidence so that it must make sense to you. Yes or no? Yes. Right. So how many of you believe that that Lord Ram is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord Sriman Narayan? How many of you in this ashram? Hands up. Okay, everybody. Even the children. All right? Yes? All of you? How many of you believe a particle of the Supreme Lord lives in your heart? Put your hands up. Almost everyone, including the children. How many of you believe Ram Nomi, this festival? How many of you believe it is authentic and bona fide? Hands up. Again, hall full, including children. All right. Then, when Lord Ram appears, He appears for this function in congregations. Where He appears? In this function in congregations. Lord Ram appears in these functions in congregations. When He appeared last week Wednesday, and He is here until Thursday. Last week Wednesday, and He is here until Thursday. How many of you believe that the Supreme Lord is your creator? Hall full. Reason I'm saying hall full, the camera is only looking at Guru. How many of you believe that the Supreme Lord can do anything? Hall full. All right? So I'm coming from a legal background. I'm coming from a legal background, and this is my court. COURT, And I want to see how many of you get CAUGHT. All right? But I'm unpacking in a logical way that our smallest children can understand, 4 years old. All right? So if this is the case, and if Lord Ram lives in your soul, when Lord Ram is present at congregations and you do not attend, who do not attend? You do not attend. Is he a witness in your heart? And is he a witness at the ashram? And because Sanatan Dharma is absolute, every action must have a reaction. Doesn't matter your head was paining, doesn't matter your eyes was paining, doesn't matter there was load shedding, doesn't matter there was no water. If you cannot overcome all of this and meet your Creator, then what right have you to sit in your house and demand, make any demand? What right do you have to sit in your house and say God is unfair? What right do you have to sit when things do not work out for you and blame God? Why do you blame God for all the calamities? Because God is absolute. He made enough preparations to be found. If your headache is paining, hear what I'm saying. If your headache is paining, then don't blame God along the way. And again, it's Ramadan, and then it's also pronounced Ramazan. Please take note of our Muslim brothers and sisters. Ask them, how do you manage to worship 5 times a day? We can't do it 1 time a month. How can you do it 5 times a day? After doing it 5 times a day, once a year, you do it 40 days in a row. You don't eat from 6 to 6. How do you manage? Don't look at the BMs, the Porsches, the supermarkets, the oil refineries. Don't look at all that. You have no right to look at that. Why? Why? Because they worship 5 times in 1 day and 40 times a year, every year. And as I said on Friday, we were going to buy a spare for his truck. At 4:05, we phoned this Muslim brother. He said, no, don't come. Normally I close at 5 o'clock, but we started fasting. I'm going home early. We could have bought spares for about 5,000 on that day from him. You understand? How many of you can do it? How many of you can do it? Search within yourself. Search within yourself before you start blaming God. There's nothing wrong with God, Rakesh Bhai. He is absolute. He is absolute. The only time you point a finger at God, and I'm as a guru giving you license, is one morning when you get up and the sun don't rise in the east. As long as the sun rises in the east, Rakesh Bhai, God is on par. God is on par. One day you get up, you see the moon fell in the ocean, then you start pointing fingers at the Supreme Lord. But as long as the sun is in its orbit, the moon is in its orbit, and the millions of planets are in their orbit. How many? Million. Don't fool yourselves with no gara. there's million gara, and millions of planets are affecting you in millions of ways every day. So if you do no gara and only plan for 9 planets, what about the millions of planets that's still influencing you? All of you understand? So the Guru like to bust some old myths, kick it and break it, open now and again. Just follow the Guru. Ashmika, follow the Guru only. When you go to university and you take on a subject, give me any subject. Accounting. When you go to university and take on accounting, do you look at the subject as a whole, or you understand it piecemeal by your professors? You understand it piecemeal by your professors. Because if you take the subject as a whole, you won't last a few weeks in university. Yes or no? So similarly, Sanatana Dharma, leave it to the Guru to teach you. Leave it to the Guru to teach you, because the Guru knows when you can assimilate an X amount of information. All of you understand? So look at these children. Look at our babies. If the parents keep them in this ashram, in 2 years' time they'll know everything that the Guru needs to teach them. How long? 2 years, because karma is not activated in them yet. So there's no blockage of any spiritual information to be assimilated in their souls. You understand? And you'll be shocked when you go home. You won't even be able to take that information after 20 years, but the babies will take it immediately. Then when you go home, it is opposite than material education. Material education, parents teach their children. Spiritual education, these children will teach you. These young children will teach you. Mama, grandchildren will teach you. Nana, take initiation. You won't have wasted this body. When your soul leaves this body, elephant will come and pick you up and take you straight to Vaikunt, Nana and Aja. Nana and Aja. Listen to the Guru. Take initiation. So this body is not wasted. This 60 or 65 years body that you have, do not go to the scrapyard. It was worth it. Your soul will go to Vaikunt. All right, all children, please tell your grandfathers. Cyril, you need any information, don't come to the Guru. Your grandson is there. Ask him, he'll tell you. All of you understand the significance of attending a bona fide satsang. Significance of attending a bona fide satsang. You can go to many satsangs. There are many preachers around. But if the preacher is not bona fide, the information will never reach your soul. It will only reach your ear, and it will get extinguished once it is recognized by your eardrum. But when you go to a bona fide spiritual master, that information goes through your eardrums, it enters your consciousness, and it lives there forever. All of you understand? So lastly, I want to show you how bona fide the Sri Narayan Dham is. Look at my dot. Then look at the dot on Lord Ram, look at the dot on Mother Sita, and look at that dot on Hanuman Baba. When you're doing your arti, when you come into me, look at my dot properly and go look at that dot there. This is our trademark. What this is? Registered trademark. This is a registered trademark. This system exists since creation and it will exist until dissolution. This system. This system is not a branch. This system is not a branch. This is the only system in the world. It's called the Sri Sampradaya that teaches you verbatim what was written by Veda Vyas. Our Bhagavad Gita this is the only 100% Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita commentary by Lord Sri Ramanuj, the Sri Bhasya. This Bhagavad Gita was penned by Lord Ganesha as it really is, because there's one system that say as it is. This is gone further than as it is. This is as it really is. There's no deviation from Veda Vyasa's Bhagavad Gita. No deviation, not even one comma from Veda Vyasa's Bhagavad Gita. So this is how absolute this system is. And if you look, Amita, there's a photograph there of Lord Sri Ramanuj that did the commentary on this Bhagavad Gita. There's a photo of Lord Sri Ramanuj there, that this commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, his body is 1000 years old and it is still in existence in the Sri Rangam temple in South India, which you can Google. You don't have to fly to South India, but if you want to, contact Ashmika in the last few days as a travel agent. She might just get some right prices, Ashmika. You can even give them some free prices because you'll be leaving soon, company will not know, you'll be gone. All right? Are you understanding? Why is that body still in existence? Show me any body beside the Egyptian mummies, because there it has chemicals to keep it alive. This body has no chemicals. Why is it still alive? Because Lord Sri Ramanuj is an incarnation of Lakshman. Lord Sri Ramanuj is an incarnation of Lord Ram's brother, Lakshman, and this system that I am preaching is there since the beginning of this creation. And there's Lakshman, there's Lord Ram, same dot, Lakshman, same dot, Hanuman Baba, same dot, Guru, same dot, Sri Sampradaya, same dot, one eternal spiritual trademark. The white stands for feet of Lord Vishnu. The red stands for prosperity of Mother Lakshmi. The triangle stands for wisdom of Guru. Wisdom of Guru. And that is eternal. It's always going to be there. All these branches, what happens to branches? Get chopped off now and again. Don't follow a branch. Climb the trunk. You follow a branch, you'll fall down somewhere along the line. You follow the trunk, you'll reach the top. Are there any questions? Andy Bhai? No questions. Ashmika? Any question? Ashmika, that temple right there in the front is yours. Avirbhai, the Mother Kali temple I'm handing over to Ashmika. Ashmika, I'm going to put a Wendy house there. You can get your trance, you can see people, you can charge how much you want. Tell me when you're ready. Jai Sriman Narayan.